Aye, top of the morning to you. This is where we normally do a interesting cutscene, but we're just gonna jump right into it. Hello and welcome to V&I Nation. Today we are going to be covering the movie breakdown and our thoughts on the Boondock Saints. Now, we all know it's everybody's Irish favorite classic, but Titus had a few thoughts on it, and so did I.
The Boondock Saints has a lot of dark humor, which back in the day may have been acceptable, but in today's current social climate, it can seem wildly offensive to a lot of people. And that being said, we enjoyed it thoroughly. You know, I quite enjoyed myself watching this movie. It's got a lot of puns. Maybe not puns isn't the right word. One-liners. It's got a lot of one-liners. There's a lot of jokes thrown in there. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of action too. There's a lot of violence and stuff going on, but they really take the time to just seed in those one-liners and those jokes for the laughs. And I can really get behind that and appreciate the work that went into scripting this out, because they really put the humor in there. And even now, like, you know, I'm Alex and we love dark humor, so obviously this is right up our alley, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would also enjoy watching this movie, but maybe not everyone would appreciate the humor in this movie. So it's good, but maybe it's not for everybody.
The movie itself is about two Irish brothers who accidentally kill some Russian mobsters and then find out that they have a taste for taking out the bad guys in town. So they become a vigilante force that are pursued by an FBI agent by the name of, I forget what his name in the movie is, but he's acted by Willem Dafoe. And I love Willem Dafoe. He's a fantastic actor, and he really gets into his roles. You can see some similarities in the character that he does here, as well as the character that he does in Green Goblin and the terrible movie Death Note. He's got a very specific acting style, and it really worked for this movie. With that being said, there were a few problems, things that didn't really necessarily make sense. One of the things that don't make a whole lot of sense is during this journey that these boys are going on, along with the FBI agent. The FBI agent has proven his worth and his mettle this whole movie, almost showing off and showing how he's better than the Boston PD. But there's a scene in the movie where they're fighting, and he's at a crime scene, and he's going through everything that happened, and nothing's going right. There's no evidence. He doesn't know who these guys are. He's freaking out. And this is before he's decided that these guys are something that needs to exist in the world and decides to help them. So it didn't make sense that he finds this finger that, you know, was basically a giant break in the case, and he just put it in his pocket. Because of his personality leading up to that moment, it was all just, he had no idea who it was, and he was always trying to be better than the Boston PD, so it didn't make sense that he wouldn't show the Boston PD the finger. Afterwards, he does go ahead and sort out the finger by finger testing it and finding out who it is and basically following the trail, and he then talks to a priest while he's extremely drunk after going to a gay bar and using some slurs there, as well as, you know, he's complaining, and this priest is talking to him while there's the irrational guy, the two brothers' friend, you know, putting guns to his head. And so it was a very comedic scene, but I felt that it should have been reversed. He should have, you know, felt that his life was spiraling out of control and gone to the bar before that crime scene, and then talked to the priest and been like, I don't know if I should help these guys, I don't know who they are, or anything like that. And then after he found out who they are, like, now we have a reason for him to hide the finger because he's gone through this moral dilemma. But the way that they did it, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And that kind of brought the movie points down because it didn't really work. It was a flaw. And so that kind of thing made the movie, for me, probably like a 7.5 out of 10. It was really good. I definitely enjoyed watching it, and I will definitely watch it again. But it does have enough issues that it can't be considered up there with the greats.
One of the things that I really didn't like about this movie was, I did not care at all to see Willem Dafoe in full drag, just like making out with the guy. Like, me personally, I was not expecting that scene to happen, and I did not really, I did not really fully appreciate the dedication to his role that Willem Dafoe put into that role. But honestly, that wasn't even like the main problem that I had with the movie. And to be honest, the main problem that I had with the movie was the name of the movie. Like, the Boondock Saints? Are you kidding me? Several times throughout the movie, they had been referred to as the Saints. So, I could understand if they were called, the Boston Saints, because, located in Boston, like, that would make sense. But they're called the Boondock Saints. And not once in the entire movie did anyone say the word boondock or boondocks at any point in the movie. I would have been happy if it was just like written on like a newspaper or something. But no, it wasn't even written on a newspaper. It hadn't been said anywhere in the movie. Do you even know what a boondock is? No, I bet you don't. You know why? Because I looked it up. Alright, I looked it up. I read the words. A boondock is an out-of-the-way area. It is a rural area, like sparsely populated rural area. To me, it looked like they were in a very highly populated urban area. And if that is that like the exact opposite of a boondock, then like I don't know what is, because a boondock can also refer to a mountain. And there was not a single mountain in that entire movie. Like, the Boondock Saints is just a terrible name for this movie. Who named this movie? Ridiculous people, that's who!
2 hours later.
Alright, I'm back. I calmed down a little bit. Tell us what you think of the movie. Have you seen it? What did you enjoy the movie? We thought it was pretty good. I'd say it was probably, about a 7, 7.5 seems about right. It was pretty good. And honestly, the problems with the movie, like, it's aged a little bit, but, other than the name, we didn't have, too many problems. They could have done some stuff better, but we've already talked about that. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos that we are going to be releasing for you guys in the future. We, Scattered Thoughts series has really kicked off lately, so if you haven't checked out the Scattered Thoughts series, I left a playlist in the, the last video. There's a playlist. You guys can watch the whole series. Scattered Thoughts is it's an interesting series, and I'd like to see it continue from here on out. But as always, thank you guys for watching. This has been VNI Nation. Thank you, and goodbye.